In this video, we're going to be breaking down the top 10 duos to dominate Season 4. So if you're looking for some of the best characters to play with a buddy to give you the best shot at winning every single game, then this is the perfect video for you. But special thanks to the sponsor of this video, Opera GX. Now with us gaming, FPS is always key, and Opera is the perfect browser for any gamer, period. With the feature GX Control, you can cap your RAM and CPU, making it so that you never dip in those important frames when you're trying to go for a play in Overwatch. In the head-to-head with other browsers, it has consistently performed at half the load of any other freaking browser, which is amazing when I'm streaming or if I'm trying to grind. On top of that, with the feature GX mods, you can have a completely custom browsing experience. I personally love the lo-fi, Radiant Angels, and the anime one, applying special sound effects, graphics, and full customization. You can download any of the mods at store.gx.me. On top of that, you can force dark pages anywhere, which is freaking nuts. Opera is a browser designed and built for gamers. Download it now in the links down below. Now, the first duo that we got to talk about in this video is Zarya and Lucio. Everyone knows that Zarya can be incredibly powerful, but there's a couple of things that you need to make sure of if you want your Zarya to carry. A Zarya ideally wants to be able to engage onto a squishy very quickly if you're trying to ignore the front line and go for a kill. Being able to speed in and combine that with bubble allows the bubble to do a lot more, and you can get to where you want to and get that kill. In addition to that, being able to speed out of a fight when you're looking to back away and save that charge is amazing with Lucio and Zarya. And one of the most important things is that a Zarya sometimes will go in for a really aggressive play, get caught out slightly, and a Lucio can boop away your opposition and allow the Zarya to get out safely. Together, this combo can also go on these little aggressive mini flanks, speeding in and even grabbing the enemy, trying to avoid the enemy front line and going straight for the squishies, where a fully charged Zarya with a bubble just can ignore them completely. And this is one of the best combos in the game for snowballing the enemy team, allowing you to get staggers over and over again, never allowing the enemy to get an easy group up and getting a lot of free kills in the process. The next combo that we got to talk about is Mei Cassidy. Now, this is a really great start of any Brawl tank composition. Characters like Rein, Junker Queen, Zarya are fantastic for this combo. Not only does Cassidy kind of round you out against a lot of the flyers that can see play in the game that Mei can't really do a lot about unless you're a god, but Mei gives you a huge advantage over the front line, being able to wall off targets, wall off tanks, and Cassidy's raw damage, the ability to pump out a ton of it, coupled with Mei blocking off the enemy support's line of sight or walling off enemy tanks, is kind of just an amazing combo together. Not to mention, I actually think this is one of the best duos to play against a Wrecking Ball, which could be super annoying. The combination of a high amount of burst damage with fan, roll, fan, and sticky, and being able to slow down the Wrecking Ball with Mei and wall off the Wrecking Ball just to cause a slight minor inconvenience, you can kill Wrecking Balls sometimes even better than a Sombra counter can. And I think that this is such a strong combo that kind of can deal with everything, deal with flyers, help your tank win and not get tank diffed, can deny characters like Tracer with Cassidy, and Mei even threatening Tracers. I think it's just a really well-rounded combo that is good just about no matter what you're going to be up against. Now, the next duo that I got to talk about in this video is actually Doomfist Sombra. A really interesting combo because Sombra also counters Doomfist rather hard, but Doomfist and Sombra is amazing because there's often times when Doomfist is going to engage based on opportunity. This is one of the weirdest parts about trying to play Doom in a dive, is oftentimes when your team is set up, you just have to go in dry. You gotta fist them dry as Doom. You have to go in without getting that power punch because it's more important that you're just with your team rather than trying to farm that power punch and then go based on a perfect opportunity, because then your timing is off. But with Sombra can set up in that location, give you info, and basically wait for y'all's engage, and y'all can coordinate that together in a duo, which is amazing. And of course, while normally Sombra wants to keep her uptime up, it's really nice to be able to get like an empowered punch, engage based on an opportunity that you see as Doom with the power punch, and then have Sombra to finish off with that last bit of damage. Y'all can kind of clean up that way, and I think it's a really great combo. The next combo is a combo that I absolutely love, and I think it's so powerful and ranked, and it's Junker Queen and Reaper. Now, I know many people sleep on that Reaper, and a lot of times Reaper wants to play a more proactive playstyle, teleporting to the high ground, trying to find a way to shut down the characters that really punish you, and going for 1v1s with certain squishies and DPS. But when you're playing with a Junker Queen, it's actually really strong just to stack with your Junker Queen. Shout with Reaper allows you to have a huge health pool, tank pretty much anything, get that speed boost, and you can go in and basically win almost every single 1v1 against nearly everything, which is amazing. You couple that with your Wraith form, and all of a sudden you're flying at a target, killing anything, just comboing off with Reaper. Typically, you kill your biggest threat, something like a Cass. You literally just ignore his damage. You don't even care. You just kill him out of nowhere, and then the momentum between Junker Queen and Reaper together just kind of feasts down on the entire enemy team. You also have a lot of sustain because both of you have lifesteal. It's a really, really great composition, and I actually think you can play a Junker Queen Reaper with something like a Lucio Brig if you're engaging well, and I really like this combo a lot. I think it's super strong. Definitely something that I would suggest you running down with a duo partner so that you both are on the same page, because I think it can give you so many free wins. Now, the next combo that we got to talk about, the next duo, is Tracer Diva. Now, this is probably the most meta composition, or the meta duo that we have in this video, and both of these characters just have such a high potential to carry. These characters both have a very, very high potential APM, or actions per minute, meaning that what you could do over a fight is crazy. You have so many decisions and so many things that you can do. You can dive this person here, you could add damage constantly, you can mitigate damage, you could peel, you can poke, you could dive, you could do everything. And the crazy thing about Diva and Tracer is you can do all these things and then basically act together based on opportunity. So both of y'all are in comms, y'all are playing together, and then the second you see a vulnerability in the enemy team's position, y'all both can pivot on that target together and delete them out of nowhere, which is so freaking strong. Isolated Widows will just die instantly. Isolated Anas, if they're getting DM and dove on with micro missiles, your Tracer adding damage to that will kill them instantly, and the Ana can't even sleep dart or nade or anything because you're eating it all, which is just so freaking strong. I think that this duo together allows you to just basically pivot and kill any squishy in the game. You do so much, and you can fight on your own terms. Diva fights on the high ground overlooking the battlefield. Tracer just is not gonna die to any tank, so you basically play keep away from the tank, find isolated engagements, kill whatever squishy you want to, and then you get to clean it up after the fact. It's just a match made in heaven, and it gives you a ton of potential skill expression and room to grow as a duo together with these characters, so I'm definitely gonna recommend them. Next up, we do gotta talk about Baptiste and Ryan. Now, Ryan is a character that wants to get in and swing like a psychopath on many of the maps that he's played on, including maps like King's Row, and Baptiste's Immortality Field allows Ryan to get a little bit crazier. Not to mention that Baptiste can heal up a Ryan unlike pretty much any other support. Such a high amount of healing overall allows a Ryan to win any just straight up Ryan matchup outside of perhaps getting naded. And the cool thing about Baptiste is when your Ryan is going in very aggressively and can trust you to keep him up, you can build an ult very aggressively, and then you can have the Ryan sandbag fire strikes to use 2 of them through your amplification matrix, which is something that doesn't really happen that much in ranked, even though it can just win a fight outright because it just one-shots people, and you get 2 shots at it, and it's crazy that no one really sets this up, but most of the time the communication is just not there. But if you're duoing on purpose in a call together, you could say, hey, I'm 80 till, your duo partner knows to sandbag those fire strikes, you pop it up, the fire strikes go out, then the Ryan pushes through it, so now you can enable and heal the Ryan after the fact. The Ryan maybe just could have won the fight with 2 attempts with your amp matrix. It's just really awesome. I love this combo. I think it's great in ranked. Now, the next character that we got to talk about in this video, or the next duo that we got to talk about in this video, is obviously going to be Pharah Mercy. I know. Everyone already knows about Pharah Mercy. This could also be Pharah Echo, whatever. But this combo is just too good. It's like too good to pass. If you're a Mercy player and you're looking for a duo, find a Sojourn, find an Ashe, or better yet, find a freaking Pharah. Pharah just controls so many games. A good Pharah with a good Mercy. And this is the important thing that you need to understand. You need to be a Mercy that will not lose your Pharah if your Pharah has complex movement. And Pharah, you need to be a Pharah that is aware of your Mercy's positioning, so you don't get both of you or one of you caught out or left behind. It's really, really important, and it's hard to do. It's also very important that you have control over your height as Pharah, understanding that sometimes you're going to have to shoot a rocket into the side of a building just to damage yourself to keep you up in the air. And Mercy needs to understand that it's their job to keep you healed through that, even when you're doing self-damage a lot of the time. So both of you are reliant on each other. And it's also important that if a Pharah flanks around, goes around, wraps the map, the Mercy goes with. It's more important for the duo to stay together than for the Mercy to heal or do anything else, because this duo alone, especially if together y'all can deal with your counters, like, you know, a hit scan. Let's say there's one hit scan on the battlefield, you deal with that. Now you just get to control the entire fight. The rest of the fight doesn't even matter. You just get to win it for free. And so because of that, you're not even caring about what the rest of your team is doing. You're only worried about how y'all can impact the game together. So anyways, these are my tips for you. I'm sorry everyone else that has to deal with Pharah Mercy, but I gotta give you tips where tips are due. Now let's talk about number 3, which is Ana Ramattra. I think this is one of the easiest ways. If you want to climb and you really want to get to Plat, Diamond, Masters even, and you want to get there fast, play this duo. This duo is ridiculous. Not only are these characters just straight up good, just period, like by themselves right now in the meta, but Nanoed Ramattra ult is just a game winner. You just do it as much as possible. You save ults for each other. You don't just try to tempo it all the time. You don't pop Ramattra ult like naked and just kind of win or try to win. You set up your duos as much as possible. You set up that combo as much as possible, because you got to realize that over the course of a game, if you're guaranteed to win that many fights, then you're just going to put yourself in a huge chance to win the game. Now, as a Ramattra player, you have to be careful of a couple of things that can deny you. CC that pushes you away, like Flail or Boop. Sleeps are really important to dodge. So there's a couple of things that you have to make sure aren't in play before you commit to it. And it's important that both of you are on the same page as far as committing is concerned. Don't just like throw it out there. And I think that happens a lot in ranked where, you know, your Ramattra staying there, you know they have ult, you just throw the nano on them, you want them to ult in, but that Ramattra was perhaps waiting for the Ana to sleep first, and now the Ramattra is going to get slept when he could have played around it if y'all were communicating. And that's why it's such a good duo to play. In addition to that, I want to see the Ana player adding to the aggression of the Ramattra ult, looking for an aggressive nade to follow up with the Ramattra, either to the Ramattra himself to keep him up, or to use it on the characters that the Ramattra is chasing down so that they can clear them out quicker and he can snowball the fight. There's ways to add to the momentum of the duo and of the combo so that you can close out the fight very quickly and no one gets traded out or nothing gets denied. Now, of course, let's talk about the next duo, and this is going to be a pretty obvious one, but an important one to play correctly. I have Widow and Hanzo. Of course, on any sniper map, this is going to be like the go-to combo, primarily because Widowmaker's the best thing to be doing, and Hanzo's kind of like a secondary to that, where Hanzo is not quite as good, but Hanzo can at least contest the Widow sometimes at some ranges, and he's just going to be the best at those long sight lines. Now, the important thing with this combo is, as a Hanzo in the duo, you oftentimes need to be using your Sonics to deny the enemy Widow or to give your Widow information. It's not even about you most of the time. Especially throwing a Sonic at a far sight line, it's not about you. It's about your other Widow. And in this duo, you need to kind of rely on each other to make sure that you're helping each other win these matchups, pinging any information you get. And a great thing that you can do together is take alternate angles from one another. You're putting a cross on the enemy team from range, applying pressure from multiple angles, and try to win the battle of information together. And it's really, really important that you do that. Try not to ego nearly as much when you don't have to, especially if the enemy is not running double sniper as well, because you could set up a very, very unfair or difficult to win challenge against like a solo Widow, for instance, putting extra pressure on that person from different angles. But I think this is a really great duo to grind and have a hit scan player and a Hanzo player together. You're just gonna kind of dominate a lot of these sniper maps if y'all both grind these characters together and y'all duo. So yeah, I would definitely suggest it. Now, last but certainly not least, character or duos to dominate in Season 4, and it's Zen Wrecking Ball. Now, I want to make this clear. Wrecking Ball is not peeling for you as Zen. They are not going to help you stay alive at all. But I will promise you this. A Discord and some damage onto a target, your Wrecking Ball will delete them. Just straight up delete them. Volleys are really great with slams as well. Just adding damage to the pile is great with slams as well. And another great thing is that Wrecking Ball is pretty self-sufficient as far as healing is concerned, so you can be really greedy with the other support that you play in this combo. Like, you could play Zen Wrecking Ball with like a Far Mercy, where the Wrecking Ball is kind of self-sufficient and the Far Mercy is doing their own thing. You could play Zen Wrecking Ball with the Brig, because the Wrecking Ball, once again, doesn't need that much, and the Brig can just peel for the Zen. So there's a lot of different combos you can do with this, and I think that just offensively, you have the opportunity to insta-kill so many people on the battlefield, boot people out of position, discord them, whatever, that it's a high skill composition that definitely lacks in the peeling category, so it's going to be a bit hard sometimes if the Zen's being targeted. But against some compositions, like double sniper, poke compositions, even brawl compositions, where the Zen can play far enough away where he's safe, this just shreds, and it's so strong and so good, and I would highly suggest it. But definitely let me know what your favorite duo to play this season is down below, and make sure you check out Opera in the links down below, and I'll see you next time.